Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, and we're not everything has to be serious. Got my good friend Chad from Tridon Communications. Chad, you're a lot of courage to stick around here.
You must be really brave to keep bringing me back.
No, it's all good. You know what? We learned a lot of stuff, and you're probably the only RCDD guy I know, right? So what does that even stand for?
Really cool data dude.
Do any of those really guys exist?
Well,
what is a really cool data? Anyway,
no, RCDD is a designation you get through an organization called BICSI, and it stands for Registered Communications, Distribution, and Design. So,
how many people have that, and why is it important?
You would be surprised. There is a ton of people that have RCDs throughout North America. It gives us that designation to really deliver great service. So we've built a whole team of RCDs inside of Tridon. So the engineered packages that come out are second to none. So it's not just kind of a botched together solution by some fly-by-night company that's taken a couple months of telecommunications courses and thinks he knows how to design it. It's not an easy designation to get. I'll tell you that right now. It's super difficult, but something that we really support, and we find the companies that are really serious about telecommunications have at least a few of guys that look like me around.
Well, you know what? In previous episodes, and if you guys haven't seen Chad's previous episodes, especially on this show, you may want to go there. You're going to learn a few things, especially if you're in corporate and you're considering real communication solutions. The one thing I was going to say is you brought up safety and top tips and all that kind of stuff, but you did bring up uncertified contractors doing some work. How does a certification like that? And I just picked that up because I didn't know what it meant, but now that we're on the topic, how does that play into it if you're using non-certified, non-committed type of
I think they're fondly referred to in the industry as two bobs in a truck. It doesn't matter what trade you go to, there's a two bob in a truck everywhere, and nothing against those guys that are getting a start, that kind of thing. But there's those companies that are the two bobs in a truck getting a start, and they've gone to the manufacturers and been certified with those manufacturers, and that's really important. The companies that don't are the ones that really do harm to our industry. That's why we work so hard with organizations like BICSI to support standards, have standards inside the industry that should be followed. And I could throw a whole bunch of acronyms at you that probably would bore everybody to death, but it's really important to adhere to those standards and engage companies that believe in it.
Yeah, that just shows that you're absolutely committed to it. And you've been doing this for a long time, as you guys can see in the other episodes. The one thing that it really makes, puts a real gap between you and the dabblers kind of thing. You don't dabble in this stuff. But also puts a big gap between you and the competitors. You got a couple of shows coming on this network, right? Why don't you talk to us about those?
So we got two. The first one is TSI Tech. So they're small clips, and we're going to really showcase a certain technology, maybe some tips on that particular technology, or some ways to utilize it inside of your business. So we're going to start producing those here pretty quick. And then the other one that we're in full motion on is TSI Today. This one is really near and dear to me. I've been in this industry for a really long time. I fell in love with technology when I was a little kid and didn't realize it was going to take me into the path it has right now. And I get to talk to colleagues inside the industry about the cool technology that they're using inside their careers, and really dive into what's the coolest tech that you got to play with in the role that you're currently in or in your career, and then we can kind of dissect that a little bit. Let's dive into that technology and understand what it is, and maybe we get to teach a few people out there about some of the cool things they can do in their plants or downtown buildings or whatever have you.
Well, it's interesting because your show, you would think it's just for the high-level users, big companies, this and the other thing. But when I started looking at it, at first I'm like, well, there's only a few people that build these things, right? And they're going to be interested in the specs and the 14 milligram of megahertz and all that crap that you guys talk about. But realistically, just any business user that goes into these plants should be aware of what they're getting themselves into, plus and minus on the safety side. An accountant walking into a plant, they should know what the telecom stuff that's going on there.
It's the most important infrastructure on any plant inside of the Wood Buffalo region today. Or, I don't have to just pigeonhole Wood Buffalo. If we look at Saskatchewan, potash, uranium, the most important thing they have is their telecommunications network for life safety, first and foremost, and then next for efficiency inside their facility. If we go further west, you have pulp and paper. You have LNG Canada, of course, and more of those plants we feel are going to be coming on, and all of them utilize this tech. But it's not just heavy industrial, and that's where we kind of made our bones many years ago. But the technology transcends to our cores. We're seeing more and more in this connected real estate, where we're taking multiple buildings and we're connecting that technology together to create efficiency within inside that building. From the simplest little things that a lot of people don't give enough credit to, like the lights automatically turning off. It's such a small thing that when people think about it, but you look at what a power bill would be in the Canabo Tower. My goodness, I'm glad I don't get that. And having those lights turn off automatically when somebody leaves a room, or turn on when somebody enters a room, it creates efficiency inside there. Now take all that technology inside there, from Pega systems to the camera systems, absolutely everything, and connect that real estate to multiple other pieces of real estate within inside the same downtown metropolis, no matter where it is. That's just really intriguing to me. It's where our future is going, to have this connected real estate, and smart cities are our future.
Well, I'm glad you said it wasn't just the energy section. I'm sure that's a big part of your business, and the potash plants and all that kind of stuff. You always got to plug in, the Rough Riders and the potash plants. I get that. There's a little plug for the green. But arenas, hopefully Calgary's going to be building a new arena, and there's football arenas, and these arenas coming up, these hospitals, these schools. I mean, you guys do it pretty much all of it, right?
Next time you're at a Flames game, watch where the cameras are on the second tier. Watch where those cameras are. Look behind the benches and look at all the cabling that's there. Do yourself a favor, look way up and look in the rafters. There is north of 1,000 strands of fiber optics that run through the top of Saddledome today. And that's an old stadium. The new stadiums, you head over to Edmonton, and those louses that that are the Oiler fans, just teasing. Know that stadium is by far probably the most state-of-the-art stadium for NHL there is, and the technology inside of it is stellar, absolutely stellar. There's so much inside there, and telecommunications is really what's gotten to that point.
So everybody out there, watch your episodes. They want to know, who is this Chad Tomaschefski, right? So we're going to find out a little about you. Are you ready? So we call this rapid fire. We have a little bit of fun. So, man, they get all tight. Like, oh, where were you on the night of? Let me write this down. Double secure that film. No, favorite sports team?
Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Like, of all of them?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Favorite sport?
Football.
Did you play football?
I did, yeah.
Where did you play?
University of Manitoba.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where'd you get your education?
UM. Next turret.
Sorry, you know what? Sorry. I some people know I'm from Ottawa, and anybody that says they went to Carleton U, where the K stands for quality, I say, okay, you went there, but where'd you get your education? So, I'm a GG, basically. But favorite food?
Favorite food is pizza.
Love you. Yeah. What kind of pizza?
So I have the Cadillac. I said before,
really?
Anything that I like and I've kind of invented, I call it the Cadillac. So I have the Cadillac pizza, which is ham and pineapple. Don't get on me. I know Italians don't like
pineapple. No, it's okay. You can't be Italian, but anyways.
Ham, pineapple, pepperoni, mushroom, green peppers, and onions.
Nice.
So it's kind of like an all dressed with a little bit of pizzazz.
That's pretty cool. Favorite place you've traveled to?
Favorite place is probably going to be, I've traveled to a lot of places. Argentina.
Which part of Argentina?
I was in Patagonia.
Half the people in Argentina are Italian descent, right?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I went specifically to go to Buenos Aires, and I got to do some hiking and a bunch of other stuff out there. Great, beautiful place.
Not favorite place you'd like to go visit to?
Rome.
Oh, really? Yeah. My favorite soccer team.
Is that right?
Yes, Roma. Okay. Yeah. You never been there?
No.
All this travel?
No.
Not on
that part of the world.
Okay. You say the person that's still alive that you would like to meet and talk to?
Stephen Harper.
Stephen Harper. He's just around the corner. Just go knock
got a whole bunch of RCMP around him, and they can't never get close enough.
So why Stephen Harper? Did he give you that blue suit?
Yeah. Good question.
Do you play bass in his band? He's a piano player, right?
He is indeed.
No, so why Stephen Harper? That's good.
There's a lot of hate for the guy, I think, from different groups. But in my opinion, I think he was probably the best prime minister Canada's had in the last 20 or 30 years. My reasoning for that is we went into a global recession because of Annie Mae and Freddie Mac into the U.S. And Canada came out relatively unscathed on that. And in fact, the entire G20 accredited Mr. Harper to having done that. And we're quoted as saying we need to do what Mr. Harper's doing in Canada so that we can duplicate that. And he did a really great job. It's what happens when you have an economic major or a doctorate in economics, I think he has, leading your country.
It's great. So you see Stephen Harper, we invite him in, and what's the first question you tell him? Or what do you tell him first? 'Cause I know what I would tell him. I'd say, play me a song, Piano Man. But anyways, what would you ask him?
That's a good question.
Other than saying, hey, you're my favorite, this and that and the other thing.
I think the first question I'd ask him is, we're going into another recession. Inflation is going through the roof. If you were still in government today, how would you combat that? What things would you put in place to help Canadians pay less tax, not be hit so hard, especially the middle class and lower class, for inflation? That's really killing a lot of people. And how would you tackle this differently? I suspect his answer would be similar to what he did during the recession during Annie Mae and Freddie Mac. But I think maybe some things he might have learned from that and done differently. I'd be interested to know what he did.
Cool. Someone that's not alive that you would have loved to have met?
Tupac.
Okay. Why?
I'm not a rap fan at all, but I've been getting this stuff on my feed in social media, and it's like some of his lyrics and some of the things that Tupac said when he was alive, and he was actually a really smart guy. Really smart guy.
Very cool. Very cool. Hero growing up?
Hero growing up.
Or maybe still your hero?
Oh, my dad.
Really? Okay, why? What's his name?
Luke.
Luke?
So, I think I got my work ethic from my dad.
Now, what did he do?
He worked at IPSCO, so the steel plant in Regina for, I think it was 37 years or something like that. Amazing amount of time, but up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to worked like a slave, bust his back, and he provided for his family, and he was a great dad, a great husband, and he's a great grandpa to my kids and to my nephews and nieces, and so he's my hero.
Favorite artist?
Artist like painting or artist like music?
Let's go music.
Music would be, right now, I'm loving Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some great music.
And what if I were to ask you in terms of favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Well, I see. This is where they're going to decide that I'm not that terribly educated. My favorite movie would probably be some bang-up Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like
nice.
The Conan the Barbarian or something like that. It takes me back to my youth. Of course, you think about all those things that affected you when you're young, and I always thought those were great movies.
Favorite actor?
Favorite actor today is the guy that plays Thor.
Oh, right. That's my son's department. I don't know who he is, but I
can't remember his name either.
That was a bit of a silly movie. Like, they made it kind of funny.
Yeah,
right?
They did. But I've seen him play, roles where he's very serious, where he kind of plays a meatball, and the next one, he's some superhero. And the best part about it, I think, the other reason why I like him is my youngest daughter really loves the Avengers, and she really loves them, and it's great to enjoy something with.
He's got that big hammer, so
he does.
Can't be wrong. Okay, here's a little bit of fun. You get to ask me one question.
I get to ask you one question. Okay, this is.
Don't ask me any RCDD questions. 'Cause I'm going to say plug it, unplug it, reset it. So.
Your favorite cocktail?
That's a great one. I don't drink, so.
Okay, let's flip it up. Your favorite sandwich?
Oh, my favorite sandwich, guaranteed. It's not that I don't drink, but I don't really drink beer. I'll have a glass of wine, right, once in a while. My favorite sandwich, hands down. I'm sorry, the guys in Ottawa do Renzo's, but. Spolombo's, my favorite sandwich down there. You'd be surprised at what I eat down there, but most people think it's the sausages or the meatball sandwiches. But Tony and the crew and Mike Palumbo over there, I love their I love their tuna salad.
Really?
Yeah, I love that. But I won't have it anywhere else. I'll have it right over there. But that's my absolute favorite place to have a sandwich. And
So where does it take you when you eat it?
pardon me?
Where does it take you when you eat it? What do you think of?
Oh, I think of like the New York Yankees winning their 29th World Championships and in the Pacific Ocean. No, it's great. It's a great feeling. Yeah.
It's awesome.
So yeah, thanks for that.
I
That's
asked you 2 questions, by the way.
Did you? That's okay. That's all right. We'll charge you later. Don't worry. But anyways, Chad, I really appreciate everything
so
you're
much.
doing. Good luck with the new shows.
Thank you.
Good luck with Tridon. I'm sure you guys are going to knock it out of the park as you guys do every year. Anyways, it's been Bruno. I'll see you guys soon.